Hey, I'm back. Did you miss me? No. Oh, okay. So before the video begins, you probably noticed that I'm not a whiteboard animation anymore, and that's because I've decided to switch. I know whiteboard animation was a unique part of my channel, but now I'm going digital because it will be way easier, way simpler, and the videos will look a lot nicer. I hope you understand. On with the video. During quarantine, my brother, my father, and I wanted to do something for the summer instead of stay inside, so we went and got a truck camper. This type of camper can slide on the back of a pickup truck. We polished it up, cleaned out the inside, and a few weeks later we were ready to get on the road. But before we left, my dad surprised us with this big magnet sign he put on the side of the truck. It said, "Lunchtime cartoons. Subscribe on YouTube." It was we weren't really trying to pick up subscribers. It was just so funny, and we wanted to keep it, and we put it on the side of our truck just to make us laugh. So we put the sign on both sides of the truck, and we set off to drive across the country. Our goal was Jasper, Alberta. I'm not going to say any of the locations we stopped at the beginning because I don't want to give away where I live, but I'll start in the town of Moonbeam, where we stayed in Renee Provincial Park in Ontario. We went for a late night swim before dark, and there were these weird eel things in the water which I didn't like. And no, they weren't snakes. Snakes are adorable. Next morning, we got up and started driving. We were determined to get to Thunder Bay before it got too dark. The roads were long, straight, and the trees were short. One of the towns on the way was Campus Casing, which, by the way, if you're from there, you guys have a beautiful town. When we got close to Lake Nipigon, there was the town of Beardmore, which had Canada's largest snowman. It was kind of random out in the middle of nowhere, so obviously we had to get our picture by it. Just past Beardmore, there were these weird mountains called the Palisades of Pagittawabik, or this word if I pronounced it wrong. Pretty big for the area we were in. Shortly after that, we arrived in Thunder Bay, where we slept at the Walmart parking lot. And of course it started to rain because it's Thunder Bay. Another day, another long drive. At least we thought. There was a traffic jam along the way because of an accident with an animal or something. We only made it to the town of Dryden that night, sleeping at another Walmart. In the morning, we got up early again because we need to get to Manitoba. We didn't know if Manitoba would let us stop or not because of the virus, so we had to power straight through. Luckily, there was a time change, which gave us another hour to drive. We drove through Kenora, another really beautiful town, and arrived at the border with Manitoba. 3, 2, 1, go! Just after crossing the border, we arrived on the prairies, which was cool, but it was really windy, and the truck camper was hard to steer since we were so tall with a camper on our back. We got to see Winnipeg, but we went around it because we needed to get out of the province. We kept driving to Regina, Saskatchewan, and slept at yet another Walmart. Also, we gained another hour because time zones. In the morning, my dad booked us a site at Bow River Provincial Park in the Rockies, which we needed to get there before it was too dark. More driving across the vast, flat void of wheat and grass. Half our view was the sky, and half our view was the flat ground. Until we got to the Badlands, which was small mountains, tumbleweed, and salt all over the place. And since it was windy, we saw the huge cloud of salt blowing across a lake. Crossing into Alberta, and the prairies are back. We kept driving to Calgary until... Wow, those are some pretty interesting clouds on the horizon. Yeah, they're getting kind of big. Wait, those are mountains! Whoa! The closer we got to the Rocky Mountains, they got bigger and bigger until they were right there. There was no transformation, they just started. It was summertime, but there was still snow on the tips of the mountains. We passed through Canmore, also beautiful, and arrived in Bow Valley Provincial Park after sundown. We were exhausted, so we were relieved to get on our site. But there was someone on our site. This is site number 12, right? Yep, site 12. Hey man, why are you on our site? I booked this site. But we booked it too. Hey, this guy's on our site that we booked. You guys looking for Bow River? Oh. So it turns out that there were two places called the same thing, and we were in the wrong one. So we had to get there, and it was hard to find. It was super dark. The sign was dark, so it was hard to see. But we finally made it there, and we got in bed. The next few days were calmer. Since we were getting close to our destination, we weren't trying to get there as soon as possible. The mountains were absolutely stunning, and the water was blue as the sky. We also learned that the water is from melting glaciers, which is extremely cold. We hiked around Lake Louise and stayed at their campground one night. Then we drove through the mountains some more to Jasper National Park, where we hiked up the Athabasca Glacier, which got really cold up close that evening. Then we had a campfire in the campground and roasted some s'mores. Now this video is getting pretty long, so I will make a part 2 talking about the things we did in Jasper and on the way home. So if you want to know when that video comes out, make sure you have the notification bell clicked and you will get notified when that happens. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Thanks for watching and see ya!